Hi, I'm Weston Nelson. For my interview, I interviewed Christy Kapsner. She is one of the co-founders and co-CEO of Moto Alliance in Rogers, Minnesota. They make, They make a lot of parts and supplies and accessories that go along with a lot of ATVs and outdoor equipment. And she started with them after working with Anderson Consulting in Cargill in the 1990s and early 2000s. And she has been working with them since 2003, since she helped co-found it with her brother-in-law. She deals more with the day-to-day side and the H&R, or the HR side of the business. And she has done the majority of interviews for their company since it was founded. She has seen the company grow into a multi-million-dollar industry as it has accelerated slowly yet consistently throughout the last 15 years. One of the main things I asked her had to do with interviews and basically setting up an employee's experience from the beginning. And one of the first things she said was employee handbook. I did ask her about that a little beforehand, and she said having an employee handbook is huge as far as like any kinds of problems that have arisen. She goes back to it quite a bit, and she said with her handbook she started off like her father-in-law also has a business, and throughout the first couple of years she had been looking at that, and she just kept adding amendments to hers, and after that it had been in pretty good shape. And then she said, like, when interviewing, this goes like for people who, like us, who are interviewing for jobs, she said that it's important to research and know the company that you're looking at well. And she said like what they're looking for is basically that you care in the company, they care about the company, and that you've done your research, and that you want to be a team player, and that you would fit well with the current staff that they have, because she's found that if you fit well with the current staff, you're going to be more passionate about what you're doing, and you're passionate about what you're doing, then you're probably going to do a good job for them and be a good fit. So that's what she's found. And then as far as recruiting goes, I asked her what's the best ways she's found to do that, what they like to do, and she said if possible, she personally likes to do personal recruiting. Like, she'll see somebody who she knows, and like whether that's from church or family or people that she knows from other things, and she'll recruit them. As they've grown slowly, they haven't had to do like huge waves of hires, and they have not had to use external websites for hires. She also said, as far as HR management goes, to plan ahead, like with events. She and one of her staff members, they work pretty regularly on planning events, bonuses, different like morale activities, and just ways to keep things fresh and interesting around there. And then she said performance reviews are huge, both for the employees and for her, so people can know they're doing a good job, and so she can, or what they need to work on, and so she can keep figuring out like what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, what they need to work on. So with that, she says it's important to have clear expectations, and just to make sure everyone's doing their job well. And then one of the last things I asked was about firing employees, like if she's had to do that and what that was like. And she said it's one of the hardest things she's ever had to do. And she said the main thing she can say is to be careful, because it's not easy and it comes with risks. And she said, like, always cover your bases, like make sure you have good grounds, like we've been talking about in class, like to fire somebody. And then also, she said make sure like you examine other possible consequences that you could look at before firing, just because of the liability that comes with that. So yeah, with that, any questions? I didn't think so. Anyway, yeah, thanks for listening.